Their collider opened a portal to communicate with extraterrestrial beings, and one of them are the occupants from 3 maps. It started as a whisper, a rumor from below the Alps of Switzerland. Inside the tunnels at CERN, home to the most powerful particle collider, something happened that no one thought possible. It made contact. Not with another dimension, not with a new particle, but with something else drifting through interstellar space. The mysterious object known as 3I Atlas. At first, scientists believed it was just another comet, an icy traveler crossing our solar system, but the most recent data indicated otherwise. During a routine energy calibration of the Large Hadron Collider at CERN, instruments began detecting a faint signal, a response synchronized perfectly with 3I Atlas's electromagnetic pulse. What's more, everything changed after the signal was sent. CERN wasn't trying to talk to aliens. Its goal was to recreate the initial conditions of the universe, squeezing protons into one mass at almost the speed of light to study dark matter and quantum fields. However, during one of the most recent high-energy runs in September 2025, a new subprogram called Project IAD was quietly testing how high-frequency magnetic fields interact with cosmic rays. That's when it happened. At 3:14 UTC, detectors buried 100 meters below ground registered a foreign resonance, not from the collisions, but from outside the collider ring itself. The signal matched something previously recorded in frequency by the James Webb Space Telescope, the same rhythmic pulse coming from the Atlas with 3 eyes. Coincidence? No one at CERN thought so. When the resonance was played back by technicians and amplified, the pattern of frequencies wasn't noise, it was structured. A repeating modulation consistent with information. To understand why this shook the scientific community, we have to return to what 3I Atlas actually is. It was discovered in July 2025 by NASA's Atlas Survey Telescope in Hawaii, the same system that once caught Borisov's infamous Oumuamua. At first, it looked like another interstellar comet, but its behavior didn't match anything known to science. It glowed brighter the farther it moved from the sun. Its tail led toward the light of the sun rather than away from it, and it pulsed every 147 seconds like a heartbeat. James Webb confirmed that the pulses weren't reflections, they were emissions. It was internally producing energy. And that same 147-second rhythm, the same cosmic heartbeat, appeared within CERN's collider rooms 2 months later. When the resonance first appeared, researchers assumed interference from solar wind, but the timing didn't fit. The signal arrived 12 minutes early relative to any solar particle event, as if it wasn't coming from the sun at all. Then came the breakthrough. As CERN's magnetic field cycled down between experiments, the signal changed. It began to mirror the collider's power fluctuations, responding to them in real time. Something out there was listening. For 11 minutes, the Large Hadron Collider became something it was never designed to be, a transmitter. In addition, the response came from the direction of 3I Atlas. Ground stations in Italy and France picked up a small microwave burst originating from the same coordinates as the interstellar object. When the data was cleaned, analysts found a repeating numerical pattern, prime numbers 2, 3, 5, 7, the universal fingerprint of intelligent encoding. Why would an object billions of kilometers away respond to an experiment on Earth? Theorists contend that the 3 atlases are not merely comets, but a form of quantum probe capable of coupling with the electromagnetic fields across vast distances. Its internal heartbeat frequency, 147 seconds, sits within the Schumann resonance harmonic range, the same natural frequency as Earth's ionosphere. In other words, when CERN activated its collider, it might have pinged a frequency that resonated with the object itself. Recent infrared maps from James Webb even show microfluctuations around the object, the appearance of energy feedback loops, as if it were absorbing and rerouting electromagnetic energy. And here's where things get even more bizarre. Several satellites near Mars recorded bursts reflected at the same frequency less than an hour later, creating what scientists called a triangulated response cone. It wasn't random noise. It was an implemented echo, like a bouncing conversation between realms. After the event, CERN's official logs were unavailable for nearly 6 hours. When they returned, all public entries between 3 o'clock and 5 o'clock UTC had been archived under restricted access. But internal memos leaked to the European press suggested that the resonance data contained a three-dimensional waveform, one that, when rendered visually, formed the shape of a spiral lattice identical to the one traced by 3I Atlas's orbit. That's when astrophysicists from the University of Geneva stepped in, confirming that the collider's resonance pattern had been modulated from outside Earth's magnetosphere, indicating that the response was not a reflection. It was a return signal, and within it were a few undeniable harmonic overtones, the same mathematical ratios that govern DNA helices. Not language, not code, structure, life structure. The scientific community quickly split into two camps. Camp 1 believes 3I Atlas is a naturally active interstellar object, perhaps a fragment of an ancient planet's core whose unusual emissions resonated with CERN's collider. Camp 2 argues something far more radical.